Yeah, again, just want to wish Troy University and Coach Cross and those guys the best this season. So obviously, two teams really worked hard together in the last several days to pull this game off. So we're just appreciative of them. Be pulling for those guys the rest of the season. Scott's done this before. He builds programs. There's a reason he's the all-time winningest coach at UT Arlington. Yeah, he knows how to build a team. Obviously, they're invested in playing some young freshmen. They're going to be dynamite players. He's got some older guys. I think they're going to be a team that's a real factor in their conference race. I want to recognize the crowd tonight too. At the 25% occupancy. Obviously, it's not normal Red Raider basketball, but tonight felt like a college basketball game. Our student section was great. They were electric. They did a great job. So appreciative. Players are talking about it in the locker room right now. There's kind of a buzz in the locker room about how fun it was to play tonight in front of our crowd, especially the student section. So we're appreciative of that. 1 o'clock tip on Sunday. If you guys could please help us. Tickets are available. We look to try to have another great crowd on Sunday. Thanks.
Let's start it with Jared Johnson.
Hey, Coach, just first off, how do you feel like the team responded tonight after, the loss, coming out of the loss?
Yeah, every season's a journey. The last team that went undefeated in college basketball was Coach Knight and those guys. And, I don't think it'll happen again in my lifetime. So you're going to get knocked around. You're going to come up short on the scoreboard from time to time. And I think it's kind of how you respond. For us, the response started, on Sunday afternoon and Sunday night after the game. We went back to work mentally. And we've had a couple of great days of practice. So to me, the response just wasn't our game tonight. It was how we've handled the last 3 days. So give our veteran players a lot of credit for that. Tonight we played well. The biggest stat, the most important thing to us internally was the 20 assists tonight. We thought the ball was sticking a little bit too much one-on-one at Houston. Now they make you play that way, so I don't think it was necessarily our players being selfish or anything. It was just kind of the way the game rolled. But tonight we got back to Texas Tech basketball, moving the ball around. I think we scored 28 baskets tonight. 20 of them were assisted. That's exactly the way we want to play.
Hey, Coach, I wanted to ask about a couple young guys. It seemed like Burnett had perhaps his best game so far this season, and then Tyreek Smith has been really active. Just can you talk about what they're bringing to the team so far right now?
Yeah, with Namari, it's just going to be, how aggressive he can play. He's a talented guy. He's a big part of our plan here. He'll have to continue to run his own race and just learn the relationship between work and results and production and opportunity. But I think he's doing great. It's good to see him aggressive out there. He made some big-time plays on defense tonight. And then offensively kind of settled down. Obviously, the turnovers are something that just can't happen at this level, and I'm sure he'd be the first to be back in the film room tomorrow working on it. But I think Amari's, like other great players around the country, trying to find that fine line between being very aggressive and playing his game, but also understanding the urgency of each possession at this level. And I think he's playing well. I thought tonight he took the next step, and I'm pulling for him.
Coach, just from your perspective, what was that key to the 17-0 run in the first half that helped you guys pull away a little bit?
Well, I think one thing is we got some offense from our defense tonight. Again, in the Houston game, we only had 2 baskets off our defense, and that's just not the way we play. It's not the way you play against BCS competition or in the Big 12. In the Big 12, you got to score a certain amount of points. Maybe you got to score 80 to beat West Virginia. Maybe it's 70 to beat TCU the next night. But to get to that platform of points that you got to put on the board, you have to get a certain percentage off your defense. There's not an offense in our league or in college basketball that can just handle 100% of the load for a team's offensive needed production. So tonight, I thought we responded. We got some baskets off of our defense, whether it be a block shot or a steal. Or a hustle play on a long rebound. But I think in that run in the first half, I think our defense was a big part of it.
You talked about your team being proud of your team's assist numbers. Specifically, Micah, we've seen him get some big baskets in those first couple of games. But how nice was it to see him rack up a couple of assists as well tonight?
Yeah, that's Micah's game, guys. He's a point guard. He's a guy that can run a team. He can score at all 3 levels, as well as several other guys on our team. We've got several guys that we put in that point guard category, several. Micah's one of them. we expect that from our guards. You know, it was nice to see Mac McClung get some assists tonight. Thought he played a really, really good floor game. Got us going early, not only with his scoring, but with his ability to get others involved. Kyler's done that many times before. And JB's a really, really good player. It'd be a matter of time till I'm sitting up here with him and he's talking about his first 8 to 10 assist game at Texas Tech. So we've got some playmakers. Mike is one of them.
Skyler from Associated Press, do you have anything for Coach Beard?
Hey, Chris, I was talking to Scott there briefly, so I missed the first part of you. I'll try to make this question not a repeat. Do you anticipate this kind of adjustment schedule-wise happening much this year, or do you think this is kind of a one-time thing? Once you all get into conference, you won't be able to do this kind of stuff?
Not sure. I do anticipate things happening in college basketball this year that have never happened before. I know in the Big 12 we've got some policies intact. You know, we've got an 18-game schedule, but there's even some flexibility in that. You know, maybe we're playing Oklahoma, something pops up. Maybe we play Oklahoma State instead. You know, I got a lot of respect for the Big 12 and, you know, the way they've organized this. It's been really nice watching Big 12 football. You know, I think in a lot of ways the Big 12 kind of led the torch, starting with our commissioner and our ADs and presidents. And I think it's a big part of for our country, you know, and just our society. And it's nice to see college football played safely and executed well. And I think the Big 12, you know, along with the SEC, kind of carried the charge there, in my opinion. You guys know I'm a huge college football fan. I probably know a little bit more than the next guy. Same thing with basketball. We got a plan. Head coaches communicate, ADs, presidents. Jeff Jackson in our league does a great job as the basketball. I don't know what his title is, but he's a basketball guy. And you know, Commissioner Bowlesby. So yeah, I expect the unexpected. I'd put it that way. But we have a plan. Like tonight, we weren't just scrambling when St. John's didn't want to play the game. We immediately went to Plan B, and we executed this game tonight.
And what's the value of getting a game like this in versus just sort of letting it ride and going on to the next one?
Well, I think one, love of the game, man. This is what we do. These players, they work hard. Let's play the games. This is these guys' lives in a lot of ways. You know, they're student athletes. They're working towards their degree. Obviously, we're proud of our 100% graduation rate here and all the guys that are in grad school. But you know, they got their families, their faith, and academics. And, I mean, they're basketball players. You know, it's a full-time job. It's what they do. So, you know, you got to play the game. And I know people have, for example, people have different opinions on, you know, how many healthy players do you need to play the game. And some conferences are doing it with 6 or 7, 8. We all have an opinion. My opinion, play the game. You know, these guys want to play. The fans want to see the game. It's college basketball. It's good for our society. It's good for our city in Lubbock. And, again, tonight we had an outstanding crowd. I don't know if you guys were at the game. I don't know how these Zoom deals work, but we had a great crowd. It felt like Red Raider basketball in there tonight.
Appreciate that.
Carlos?
Chris, I know you got another game on Sunday. I guess, how does the preparation work for y'all? And I guess, is it just mostly focusing on yourself? And I guess with that in mind, what did you like about tonight and what you can carry forward?
Yeah, definitely not just concentrating on ourselves. We respect every opponent. Grambling, one of the, you know, historic programs in college sports. Got some good players this year. Got a win on the board, and I believe they're already in Lubbock tonight. So this game's happening. It's a one-game prep. We talked about this before. In the NCAA tournament, you get into one-day preps. Saturday, Big Monday, in our Big 12 conference, you get into one-day preps. So this is a part of college basketball. We've done this, I guess, once, maybe twice already. So the key, get the guys hydrated and fed and in bed tonight at a decent time. Wake up tomorrow and try to win the day. We got one day to get this done. And then certainly on Sunday morning, you know, there's no time Sunday morning. You get up and play the game. So 1 o'clock tip Sunday. We're hoping for a great crowd. I don't want to speak for the people in the stands, but I think everybody's having fun. I looked around a little bit tonight. We got great energy in the building, concession stands popping. You got the cold beer that we got done a couple years ago. The band, cheerleaders, student section. I mean, we're rolling. I just encourage anybody that hasn't come out and seen the team play yet, please come. it's safe. We're socially distanced. We're rocking the mask. I hope we have a great crowd. 1 o'clock on Sunday.
Last one from me, Chris. I guess just with Mac McClung, in terms of his consistency, what have you seen from him just being able to be that spark for y'all? Because I know there have been times where he's kind of taken over a game and been able to kind of find his flow. What did you see from him tonight where he scored eight of his 20 points during that 17-0 run?
Yeah, I think above all, Mac's trying, man. He's bought in. He didn't come down here thinking he had all the answers, just like I don't wake up every day thinking I have all the answers. I think people that understand how to win are surrounding themselves with people that are true tellers and real info, and everything we do around here makes sense, and everything Mac, kind of does makes sense. He's an aggressive player, and we want him to be aggressive. Keenan Evans was pretty aggressive around here. It's how you win. But he's trying to take that step, to become a pro with efficiency, and I think he's doing great. Tonight, his assists were more than noticeable. He's playing defense. I didn't like the one-handed turnover in the second half, and I let him know that, and he let me know that he didn't like it either. So, it's fun to coach guys that hold themselves accountable. It's fun to coach guys that want to be coached, and Mac's certainly one of those guys, as long as, we've been spoiled around here. Kevin McCullough wants to be coached, and TJ, and Kyler and those guys. So I think Mac's doing well. Above all, he's trying. He's trying to do what's expected of him, and it's working.
We'll finish out. Brandon, last question.
Yeah, Coach, just saw Marco Santos Silva immediately after the game go practice free throws. Just talk about his game tonight. Obviously, offensively, it's not what he wanted, but seeing him do something like that to hit the floor right after a big win.
Yeah, it was a unique night. In 22 minutes, we want Marcus to get more than one shot, but he really let the game come to him. We posted him several times. Troy doubles the post. Marcus made the right play. From the free throw, he's worked so hard on that. I predict he's going to be right where he needs to be as the season goes on. I thought his technique was fine tonight. He had just kind of some of those basketball moments where the ball goes in and out. It doesn't surprise me he's back in the gym. That's what he's all about. He's a real professional. He works hard at his craft. He's our leader. Again tonight, he's our leading rebounder. We'll work hard to get him more shots. In a normal night where he gets his minutes, I think he would have, gotten an opportunity to get some more shots and baskets. But I thought he let the game come to him. And he's a guy I have a lot of confidence in. And his free throw is going to be fine because he puts in the time.
Appreciate you guys. We'll see you on Sunday afternoon.
Weight room and just with Coach Riley from when he arrived to now.
Yeah, Vlad's a good player. He's a part of our plan. Vlad got a little banged up in practice and wasn't able to play in the first two games. Houston game didn't go the way we needed it to get Vlad in there, but tonight it was great to see him get his first Division I action. Steps up there, makes the free throws with a calmness, finished around the basket. Thought he got a little fatigued late, and that led to his one defensive mistake. But he's a player, guys. He's going to be special. It's great to see him tonight get out there and get started. Thank you.
Tariq, I guess with this performance, what do you feel you all kind of showed after taking a loss to Houston and then kind of coming out with the energy you had tonight?
I think we showed maturity. We knew that we played bad against Houston, and we knew we had to make a statement tonight, and I feel like we really did a good job at doing exactly that.
Micah, same thing for you. I guess after that performance against Houston, obviously you guys made it close, but then Coach Beard was kind of talking about the energy. How do you feel you all kind of came out tonight?
I feel like we came out and we were ready to play. I feel like against Houston, we weren't mature. We didn't come out to play, but today we locked in. In practice, we talked about being locked in for this game, and we did that.
In terms of that first half where it seemed like they were getting close, 12-9, and then all of a sudden you guys made that 17-0 run. How big was that just for Mac to not only get going on offense, but just the defense to kind of shut them down there for both of you?
Mac, he's a big time player, so when they started getting a little run, we weren't really fazed. It's just adversity, so we weren't really fazed about it. We just came out and stuck to the game plan.
Mike, last question from me. In terms of what you've been able to do the last couple of games, it seemed like Houston was maybe a little bit of a showcase for yourself. How do you feel you've kind of developed your game so far in the first couple games?
I feel like I just trusted the process that our coaches have set for me. My teammates have trusted me to make some shots, mid-range shots, and I'm just going to continue to work on my game.
Eric Kelly?
Mike, along those similar lines, where do you get that confidence to come in as a freshman and take some of those big shots when your team needs it, specifically against Houston in that first half, when you guys kind of need points, you go out and get it?
Like Coach Beard always tells me, confidence comes from the work you put in. So, and also it comes when your teammates, when you know your teammates have confidence in yourself. So I just bring that on the court, and I know my teammates have my back, and I just try to make the shots.
For both of you guys, doesn't matter which order you answered in, losing that St. John's game and for that split second thinking you guys might not have basketball for maybe a more extended period of time than you would have, how much does that kind of remind you of how important this game is to each and every one of y'all?
When the game got canceled, we kind of felt bad about it, but we didn't really, we got control we can control, so we just tried to think about the next game on the schedule, and this is a good game. You can't take it for granted, so every day we just thank God for it and try to get better every day. Trust the process.
What was that difficulty in preparing for an opponent with only a couple of days? And Carlos kind of asked it, but how do you think that what you guys did was vindicated by that fast start in the first half?
I feel like we just take every game like it's the most important game. We always lock in. So when we found out we were playing Troy, we just locked in on our scouting reports, and we took that into the game. And I think we were successful with our scouting reports today.
All right, Bill?
Hey, for either one of you guys, can you give us a scouting report on Vladislav Golden from what you've seen in practice?
I think he's obviously a really good player, like y'all saw today. I think he's just gonna get even more better. Like you saw, he runs down the court, gets his rebounds, made his free throws. He can do it all, and y'all didn't even see his jump shot that he can shoot. So I think y'all see a lot more coming this season.
All right, Ryan, final question. Let the players go.
Micah, you've gotten off to a hot start lately by making buckets, but tonight you led the team in assists along with Mac. How do you feel like your playmaking made a difference?
Well, our scouting report today, because they took a lot of charges in the film we watched. So one thing we did, we talked about was jump stopping in the paint and looking at kickouts, and I felt like we were successful with that today, and our assists came off those.